Hi everyone, and welcome to 3-Minute Racquet Reviews.
Today's frame is the Head Prestige Pro Auxetic 1.0. In terms of the ground strokes, I give this a 7 out of 10. I think it's a fairly plush and comfortable response, like a typical Prestige, but you don't get a lot of access to spin here. Moving on to the net play with this one, I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think it's a stellar frame at the net. It's easy to get into place, very maneuverable, great feel, great touch, and in general, had a great time hitting volleys with this one.
On to the serving with this one.
I think this frame kind of struggles out of the box with the serve. There's not a lot of access to spin. I'd probably rate it at a 6.5 out of 10. I think in general, you're going to be trying really hard to hit a heavy kick serve or a biting slice without adding a ton of weight to the upper hoop. In terms of power, I'd give this an average rating of a 7 out of 10. I think it's fairly powerful for a 98 square inch frame, but it definitely does lack some power in some key areas. For instance, when hitting a defensive open stance forehand or backhand, it feels like the ball tends to sit up a little bit. In terms of control, I'd give this an 8.5 out of 10. It's a classic Prestige in regards to control. There's pinpoint precision on tap here, and you definitely feel like you can look for smaller targets on the court. In terms of the spin, I'd give this a 7 out of 10. I think it's about average spin production for a 98 square inch frame. It's not going to be a world beater in the spin category, but there's enough spin on tap there to play in the modern game. In terms of stability, I'd give this one an 8 out of 10. I think all of these Prestige Pros that Head has released recently have a fair degree of stability, but like I mentioned earlier, if you added some weight to the upper hoop, it would probably help you out with power and stability. In terms of comfort, I'd give this one a 9.5 out of 10. I think Head with the Auxetic 1.0 and 2.0 layups has done a terrific job at providing that plush, classic Prestige response. Something that really absorbs the impact force and doesn't force a lot of vibration into your arm. In regards to the flex profile, I'd classify this as a classic lower yoke Prestige flex. Definitely snaps into contact super nicely and feels like a classic Prestige of old. Onto the touch and responsiveness, I'd give this a 9 out of 10. I felt like I was really able to feel the string bed across the entirety of it, and every shot that I hit, I had a good sense of where it hit the string bed. In terms of our Will It Lead category, I think it will work for the right person that plays an old school game. If your strokes are more of a horizontal path, you're not necessarily brushing up behind the ball, you'll be able to hit with a fair degree of weighted shot straight out of the box, so it could definitely work for someone like that. In terms of the cosmetics, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I think this one is a little bit too on the black side, whereas a lot of people would traditionally expect more red out of a Prestige. Thanks everybody for tuning into this Racquet review. We'll see you in the next one.